Why hasn't trillions of dollars in foreign aid erased global poverty? If aid truly worked, shouldn't we have wiped out poverty by now? It's a simple question with a complex answer. Every year, developed nations pour hundreds of billions into aid programs, yet nearly 700 million people still live below the international poverty line. And shockingly, progress has slowed in recent years. So what's really going on? Why do countries like China and Indonesia see significant improvements with little aid, while others like Malawi and the Democratic Republic of the Congo continue to struggle despite billions invested over decades? Join us as we dive deep into the surprising truths behind foreign aid and the fight to end poverty, and discover why the answer isn't as straightforward as it seems. This is the story you need to hear. Foreign aid is complex and not simply a cause and effect solution to development issues. While aid aims to support struggling nations, its persistent failure to promote sustainable growth raises concerns about dependency. Critics argue that aid can inadvertently undermine local industries, creating a cycle of reliance that hampers self-sufficiency and economic progress. Traditional economic models view aid as a catalyst, providing initial investments to jumpstart economies, boost savings, and improve infrastructure and human capital. However, real-world outcomes often diverge from these ideals. Despite substantial aid, over $1 trillion since the 1960s, many regions, such as sub-Saharan Africa, continue to grapple with persistent poverty, indicating that aid's impact on macroeconomic growth is limited. A significant issue is aid's tendency to replace domestic industries rather than foster their development. For instance, the influx of donated second-hand clothes from developed countries has undercut local apparel industries, leading to their decline. While aid-funded imports may offer short-term relief, they can hinder long-term industrial growth by discouraging local production and job creation. Ultimately, the effectiveness of aid depends on how it's structured and whether it supports sustainable, self-reliant development rather than fostering dependency. Foreign aid also frequently involves infrastructure projects financed by foreign companies, like Chinese firms building roads or power plants. However, these projects often come with conditions, such as importing foreign workers, that limit local employment and skills transfer. When foreign companies leave, the local workforce remains untrained, unable to take over future projects independently, perpetuating reliance on aid. Much of foreign aid is funneled through large international contractors based in donor countries rather than directly to local organizations, with only about 12% reaching grassroots groups. The majority is managed by distant agencies, leading to inefficiencies, bureaucratic delays, and a focus on paperwork rather than tangible results. For example, USAID often prioritizes activities that generate billable hours over actual development outcomes. Corruption, where aid funds are siphoned off by political elites or diverted offshore, is frequently cited as a major obstacle. While leakage estimates suggest around 7.5%, weak institutions and poor governance further undermine aid effectiveness, creating a cycle of dependency and inefficient resource use. Countries with fragile institutions often see aid discourage tax collection, weakening their capacity for sustainable growth. The most significant challenge lies in nations plagued by conflict, ethnic strife, or climate crises, where systemic issues prevent aid from penetrating deeply. Countries like Syria, Afghanistan, and Sudan illustrate that aid alone cannot resolve complex social and political problems. Moving forward, the focus should shift from questioning if aid works to how it can be most effective. By supporting local industries, strengthening institutions, and fostering good governance. Increasingly, direct cash transfers to individuals are proving effective in alleviating immediate hardship, though they aren't a complete solution for sustainable growth. Ultimately, aid success hinges on addressing structural issues, empowering local actors, and promoting self-reliance. Rethinking and reforming aid strategies is essential to making a lasting impact.